of the Oromia regional state Lamma Magarsa said the Oromia and Benishangul Gumuz regional states have agreed to economically integrate the two regions to solve the security problem of the area from its grassroots level. President Lama expressed readiness of the regional government to solve long-standing public grievances of the area by urging the community to safeguard the peace of their vicinity.
Mootummaan cimaan hojii isaa hojjechuu danda'u ganda jiraannaan mootummaan naannoo Oromiyaa cimaadha jechuudha.
If our district level management has got strong, the Oromia regional state government will be strong enough. Government is a collective leadership from all perspectives. We can't call one government without including all parts of the administrative organs. There are plenty of problems and demand of the public at grassroots levels, which is district level. So there should be many works to be done at district's level. I hope the new administrative system that the Oromia regional state started can solve this problem.
President Lama again called for all political parties across the region to come together and work for the future betterment of Oromo people.
Dhimmi ABO's dhimma keenya, dhimmi Sakaanis dhimma keenya.
The issue of the Oromo Liberation Front's OLF and the other issue of the Oromo people is our concern. To be honest, we have no secret agenda that we can run without the interest of our people. It is better to speak up our problems clearly and discuss to solve the problem. Our people should not be affected by the disagreements between our parties. We all are human beings, so it is better to discuss at round table. We have shared common language and culture. So what if we sit and discuss on our common matters?
Prime Minister Dr. Abiy Ahmed for his part called for the unity of the nation to score far-reaching victory. The Premier pointed out that the federal government is working with its maximum effort to lift the nation from poverty.
Yaaddoo biraa hin qabnu uummata keenya hojjannee biyya keenya jijjiirree.
We have no fear of other agenda except working for our people and country. Our main agenda is developing the state and creating jobs for our jobless youth of the country.
Prime Minister Abiy also stressed that good culture of peaceful coexistence of nations and nationalities need to be sustained from generation to generation. Participants of the discussion expressed their readiness to closely work with the government for the prosperity of nations.
You have done a lot. We have to recognize your best deeds. We all are by the side of you guys. So be alerted and sustain your best beginnings with full confidence. Nothing can stop us from supporting your vision. I'm speaking this by representing Nakamte females. You know our wishes and problems. So I want to ask you all to consolidate your best efforts for our country.
The Ministry of Foreign Affairs said the government of Ethiopia is following closely the current developments in Sudan. In a statement issued yesterday, the ministry said Ethiopia expresses its confidence and that the Sudan will surmount this difficult moment. Ethiopia fully respects the sovereignty and political independence of Sudan and sincerely hope that all Sudan's political stakeholders will find a peaceful solution to the problem, it added. Ethiopia fully understands and respects the wishes of the Sudanese and stands by them. The statement concludes. It was yesterday that Sudan military overthrew and arrested President Omar al-Bashir after months of protests against his nearly 30 years rule. The Defense Ministry also declared a 3-month state of emergency, national war, nationwide ceasefire, and the suspension of 2005 constitution. Ethiopia River Basin Development High Council has approved a draft national water use tariff draft regulation. The tariff will be paid from 2 to 3% of the total profit to the sectors which will be used for pollution protection ways.
Ethiopian River Basin Development High Council has approved a draft national water use tariff draft regulation. The draft will be paid from 2 to 3% of the total profit of the sectors which will be used for population protection ways. Industry, fishery, irrigation, hydropower, water services are among the sectors expected to pay the tariff. Accordingly, sectors such as cut flower companies that may harm the environment will pay more than other fields to equalize the harm they cause. Deputy Prime Minister and Chairperson of the Council, Demeka Mokonnen, on the occasion said the main purpose of the tariff is to make people use water more efficiently and teach its value to protect the resource.
ከጊዜ ወደ ጊዜ በምድር ውስጥ እየራቀን እንዳይሄድ ያንን የመጠበቅና ለትውልድ የማሻገር ኃላፊነት
Protecting our underground water resource is very important to pass it from generation to generation. We have to conserve all basins based on their nature.
The chairperson urged all regional administrators to protect the basins in their respective regions and mobilize the community to work for the improvement of the water bodies. He noted that pushing the people towards paying the tariff makes them to give attention for water resource.
ከምንም በላይ ለውሃ ለዋናው ለተፋሰስ አጀንዳ የአመለካከት ለውጥ እንዲመጣ
The main purpose of this agenda is to realize that we have to value our water resource because water is our huge natural resource. We have to also think for next generation.
Minister of Water, Irrigation and Energy Dr. Engineer Seleshi Bakala told the Ethiopian news agency that strategic works are being done to handle climate change problems in the basins, including protecting the water bodies in various areas. He also urged that the government has been striving to modernize information exchanging mechanisms.
ዘመናዊ የመረጃ ስርዓት ሃይድሮሎጂውንም የከርሰ ምድር ውሃንም በማወቅ በመተንተን
To investigate underground water and its hydraulics, modern system is being implemented. We have also been working to organize our structure to one center. We will also have office in all basins.
The draft National Water Use Tariff Regulation approved by the Council will be submitted to the Council of Ministers soon.
First Lady Zinash Tayacho has laid cornerstone for a secondary school to be built in Wechale district of North Shore. Residents of the district have pleaded to support the construction of the school with all they have. Here is Lata Teresa for the story.
Ethiopia's First Lady Zinash Tayacho laid cornerstone for the construction of secondary school to be built in Wechale district of North Shore Zone in Oromia Regional State. The construction of the school will be completed within a year. It will be built at a cost of 20 million birr. The project is funded by Gudina Tumsa Foundation, according to OBN's Amhagatacho. Speaking on the event, the First Lady urged the surrounding community to discharge its responsibility in safeguarding peace and stability of the area, saying it is very significant for learning and teaching work. She also called on the residents to develop their culture of living in harmony with their neighbor region's people. Zinash expressed her wish to see the school be completed. The school will be built to produce educated citizens. To realize this cause, peace and stability are very crucial. Deputy Head of Oromia Education Bureau, Grima Baisa, for his part, underscored that his bureau is ready to do it level-based for the completion of the school's construction. Some residents of Wechale district, Oben talked to, expressed their commitment to realizing the completion of the project.
We are delighted over the move. We are also ready to support this success in what we can.
The construction of the school will make us free from transportation costs as well as relieve us from renting house in towns to attend our education there. So we feel happy.
African Development Bank President Adesina said it is time that the United States scale up and take advantage of opportunities that the other global players are already investing in. Speaking at high-level dialogue in Washington, D.C., Aknyuhama Adesina noted that it is time to turn around the declining investment of the U.S. in Africa. As the world's private sector leader, the United States has a unique role to play in increasing investments in Africa and expanding opportunities for the U.S. private sector. Mentioning that the discussion come at a critical juncture for the future of Africa, Congresswoman Carrie Bass said it's widely accepted that the Africa is an investment hub. I personally and many of my colleagues will continue to advocate for full funding or increased funding to the bank. According to the Congresswoman Bass, the African Development Bank's High 5S, Light Up and Power Africa, Feed Africa, Industrialize Africa, Integrate Africa, and improve the quality of life for the people of Africa, align with the policy priorities that the United States Congress has been focusing on. U.S. Ambassador to Ethiopia Michael Reiner administered the oath of service of 246 new Peace Corps volunteers at the U.S. Embassy in Finfinne City. The volunteers will be working on community-based engagement in all across the hills. These volunteers will be working on community-based engagement in the areas of health, agriculture, and education in the Amhara, Tigray, Oromia, and South nationalities and peoples regions, according to the press release to the embassy sent to Fana Broadcasting Corporation. Ambassador Reiner said, Peace Corps teaches us that by approaching others with open minds and open hearts, and by coming together and working together, there are no limits that we can achieve. That is really a lesson for all of us, and no less so for Ethiopians as it makes its transition to more democratic, inclusive, and economically prosperous future. He also thanked Ethiopian host families and the communities, saying, your support is essential to facilitating the volunteers' work, of course, but even more important, if it forms foundation for friendship that have built unbreakable ties between volunteers and Ethiopia for more than 5 decades. All 46 of these new volunteers are heading to their communities, having completed 3 months of training before taking to the oath of service. The Ministry of Agriculture has called on all citizens to play their part in helping the country's effort of becoming food self-sufficient. The ministry has held relevant discussions with media and agriculture experts drawn from regional and federal level. Olma Baina.
In Ethiopia, agriculture is the major source of economy. According to Ministry of Agriculture, 35% of the country's GDP is gained from agriculture sector. The ministry has discussed the ways of mobilizing people of the country to enhance their role in strengthening the sector with various media organizations and agriculture experts drawn from both regional and federal levels. On the discussion, a research paper that reveals strengths and limitations of the sector was also presented. Minister of Agriculture, Umar said that media should play its role in mobilizing the citizens of the country towards sustainable development, especially in terms of agriculture. In the development of this country, media have great role, but there are 2 main problems in media reporting. The first one is media usually reports interests of leaders of various sectors. This is to keep the interest of a person in a position. The second gap is that the government structures at different levels didn't open chances for discussion with various media organizations to work together. Umar also noted that media should report balanced stories than only focusing on political issues. As we all know, many media outlets have been reporting emotional issues. If this norm will continue, it is very difficult. So we have to balance our reporting system. It is possible to work on many areas. In doing so, we can build the base for our future. He also noted that Ethiopia is still importing wheat to minimize food insecurity of its citizens, adding that his ministry has been striving to change this history.
qamadii biyya ormaati galchaati kan hanqina nyaataa jiru kana kan guuttachaa jirtu.
This country has been importing wheat starting from 1969 to ensure food security in the country. So we have to change this scenario. To realize this, our ministry has been working hard in an organized way.
Many thanks for joining us. That's all what we are for this time. Enjoy the remaining programs.